Welcome to Knowledge Search channel. In this video, we will be discussing about network definitions. So this video is nothing but a continuation of the previous video, that is part 1. Already we have discussed some of the network definitions in the previous part 1 video. Now this is a continuation of the previous video. So let us just give an overview of what happened in part 1, or you can just go through the part 1 video which I have already discussed. So in part 1, we have discussed what are the different network definitions, what are different parameters, like network is there, network element is there, branch, junction point, node, mesh or loop. So these parameters are very important to solve or design any circuits. So only if you are clear with all these parameters, you will be able to design and solve the problem. So in previous video, we have discussed about what is a network, what is a network element, what is a branch. Hope you are all clear with the definitions. And now we are moving to the part 2 of this video, in which I will be describing about the definitions related with junction point, node and then mesh or loop. So here I have considered the same network, okay, so same network which I have taken in the previous video. So here you can see that this particular network is having two voltage sources V1 and V2, and it is having two resistances R1 and R4 and one inductor and one capacitor, that is inductor L3 and capacitor C2. So the same network which I have explained in the previous part 1 video, I have taken for the explanation again in the part 2 as well. Only thing is the definition parameters are going to vary from the previous video. So in this video, I will be discussing only about the junction point, node, mesh or loop. As the definitions related with network element and branch have been discussed in previous videos, we will be discussing about the other three network definitions, that is junction point, node, mesh or loop. So what is a junction point? What is a junction point? A junction point is nothing but it is a point where three or more different branches meet is called as a junction point. For example, in this figure, the junction points are nothing but C and D, where three or more branches meet. Okay, the junction point is nothing but three or more branches meet. So here you can see that in this you can see that, okay, in this figure you can see that where three or more branches meet. So this is one branch AC and this is one branch CE, this is another branch CD. So three branches are meeting at the point, this is called the junction point C. Similarly here you can see that BD is one branch, and similarly FD is one branch, and similarly CD is another one branch. So here you can see that, so this is one junction point, D is one junction point. So C and D are nothing but the junction points where three or more elements meet at a particular point is called as the junction point. So hope you are clear what is a junction point. So now we will move on with the definition of what is a node. What is a node actually? Again, node is also a point at which two elements are joined together is also called as two or more elements. If it is three or more elements, then it is called as junction point. If two or more elements, then it is called as a node. So again, a junction point is also a node actually. Okay, junction point is also a node. But junction point will be having three branches meeting at a point. Whereas node is nothing but two elements joined together at a particular point is called as a node. For example, in this, you can see that in this circuit, you can see that what are the nodes is nothing but A, C, E, F, D, B. So these are all called as a node. Okay, so these are all called as a node. So hope you are clear with what is a node. So now we will move on with what is a mesh or what is loop. There are two different names for mesh. One is loop, mesh or loop. So again I will be describing the same circuit. Okay, I will be using the same circuit to make you understand what is a network or what is a loop. In a network, a mesh is nothing but it is a set of branches which is forming a closed path. For example, in this figure you can see for how the closed path is formed. You have to start with A and you have to end with A. So A, C, D, B, A is nothing but one mesh, or it is also called as loop. So you have to start with this point, you have to go along its way, and you have to come to the same point. Similarly, you can see that A, C, E, F, D, B, A. Again, this is a mesh or this is a loop. Similarly, C, E, F, D, C. Again, this is a mesh or loop. So like this, I am starting at one point and ending at the same point is called as a mesh or loop. So this is a very important thing you want to understand in the network parameters. Only if you understand these parameters well, you will be able to solve the problems and design the circuit elements. So thank you very much for your patient listening, and if you really like this video, give a thumbs up to this video. If you have any doubts, you can just comment and I will just reply to it back. And if you feel that this particular video will be helpful to someone, please share it. And if you feel that this videos which I post in this channel will be useful to you, give a subscribe button so that it will help me to post more such videos. Thank you very much for now. Thank you.